here I am, dressed up all fancy, ready to do the Game Roulette Awards show. I got out my old... Hold on. I think I have a more formal hat I could be wearing for this occasion. Milady? Oh no, this is probably a mistake. Nobody should ever wear this. And game number 2 is gonna be... looks like Off-World Trading Company? Yeah. Alright. So kind of... there we go. Now this is a much more formal, appropriate hat. Here we go. Basically, the premise of tonight is I've been doing Game Roulette streams for, oh man, like pretty much a year now. I've done 10 of them so far. And in the 10th one, I did like kind of a improvised retrospective on all these games. And I thought it would be fun to like actually sort of conceive some award categories for the games I did and do like a little improvised awards show. And this would be a fun tradition to hopefully do every 10 Game Roulette streams, assuming I keep on doing these regularly. But I just wanted to go over the games that I have played on these streams and talk about which ones were the best ones for what reasons. So let me just do like a category here. Highest, oh god, recommendation. That's way too big. This would be the equivalent of like the best picture in like an Oscar type situation. Just a second. Just a second. It's almost there. There we go. Alright. So yeah, usually if you have like an Oscars type of situation, you save the best picture for last. I'm just gonna jump right into it and be like, this is a game that I think is worth your money. And there, you know, are multiple nominees. So usually like an Oscars or another legitimate award show like that would tell you all the nominees and then be like, and the winner is so-and-so. I'm just gonna make a list of all the runner-ups first, then the winner will come last. So here's one of the games I think you should buy. Whoa, isn't that fancy? That one is Dreaming Sarah. This one was really fun. It was a little like Metroidvania type of game, a little Yume Nikki-esque, and it's only like a $5.99 game. It's pretty short, wouldn't take you very long to finish. And it was one that just I thought was overall one of the higher quality games. So I'm going to throw that in there as one of the runners-up. And these aren't in any particular order, but another runner-up was this Shantae and the Pirate's Curse, I believe was the one that I played. Also kind of in the Metroidvania category, but this one is, you know, more of a traditional action platformer. Really enjoyable overall. I didn't get very far into it, obviously, as I only played for about 45 minutes, but what I did play of it, it was just, you know, good old-fashioned action platforming fun, really good pixel art, and also a really good soundtrack, which might be a category later on in the awards show. Oh, hold on. I thought of something that I need to have here. Yeah, there we go. Let's hear it for Shantae. Yeah, isn't that great? Oh, thank you. Very nice. Yeah, okay, that's enough applause. Another runner-up in the Game I Think You Should Buy category, we have Baba Is You. That's a really good one right there. Oh no, where did my first one go? Oh, my first nominee disappeared. I need to set it to loop. There we go. Alright, so yeah, Baba Is You. I feel like I don't really need to say that much about this game. It's already like very well known, very popular, very creative little puzzle game. The normal retail price on that one is $15.99, and that one is very worth. It seems like a very lengthy game. Some of the puzzles are real brain ticklers. You get some real challenge out of those. So yeah, let's hear it for Baba Is You. Oh yeah. Show them your appreciation. Isn't that great? Okay. This one was Mutazione? Mutazione. Mutation. I don't know how you say that one. Yeah. There. That's how it's spelled. There. Just because I feel like it's not intuitive to know how to spell that one from just me saying it. But this one was also kind of a surprise hit. Really just amazing artwork in this one. It's kind of, a point-and-click adventure game, but had a great atmosphere that I really loved, and just generally beautiful. Really great to just kind of like sink into this world. And it's something that I have thought about revisiting, but have not actually. But that one, yeah, the normal price is $19.99, and I would say that one is also worth your time if you're looking to buy that kind of game. Alright, but the number one game, which I would say is a game you should buy. And this one, honestly, it might come as a surprise to some people, but just the more I thought back on it, the more this one really stuck with me, and is something that I would like to play to completion, probably more than anything else that I played, and that was the Sexy Brutale, or the Sexy Brutale. I'm not sure exactly how you're supposed to pronounce that, but that is the winner in this category. This one is also $19.99, just like Mutation and Shantae, but it was really good. It was a game unlike any other that I have played. Very creative mechanics in this one, kind of a little time travel-y, and you're in this fancy hotel or casino type of setting and trying to prevent the murders of the guests there. But I really just liked the art style and the cool, creative gameplay elements of it, and for that reason, I think that is one that's definitely worth somebody's money. Let's have a round of applause for that one. There's your winner. Fantastic. So okay, that's enough applause. So there's the top category. We got about 8 categories to go over, 8 awards to give out, but there is award number 1, all finished. Let me move on to my next award. Best Single Sitting Game. And we had several of these throughout the roulettes. I'll probably be mentioning like basically every single sitting game that I played. Because these single sitting games that you can play in like roughly an hour, maybe much less, were kind of a new concept to me. I've not really played a lot of those in my life in general, and so all of these were kind of like pleasant surprises. And I will say, just being nominated in one of these categories is enough of an award of its own. A game's very presence in the category means I liked the game. It's not just getting in here out of, like, obligation. So our first nominee in this category was Marie's Room. And this one was pretty cool. So the premise of this one, not unlike several games that I played throughout these streams, was you're in a room, you're a house, a location, and you're going around trying to solve a mystery of what happened to the characters who were here. Anyway, this one, it wasn't like my favorite in this category, but still something that was worth a look. I had fun with it. Oh, wait. Let's hear it for Marie's Room, everybody. Let's hear it. Yeah. Very nice. Okay. Another neat one was... Oh, what did I just click and drag? Oh god, what have I done? Hold on. It's called Quiet City. And this one I was done with in about 5 minutes or so. This one was extremely short, but it was a pretty cool little concept. You just walk a stick figure around the city, you hit a button in all of these little circles, and you slowly fill up the landscape. And after you do that, you go around emptying that same landscape and kind of seeing the final fate of all these people who have been popping up throughout the game. But that one was extremely short. I don't know if you can even buy this game. Like, I don't know if it's actually a retail game or if it's just something you download for free, but it was a neat little thing. Definitely a good way to spend 5 minutes. So let's hear it for Quiet City while I load up the next nominee here. Okay, next nominee. Crescent Bay. This one was, again, like a really pleasant surprise. I thought it was going to be like a boring walking simulator with just a lot of overly prosaic narration, somebody trying to be overly poetic. But it was pretty cool. It actually had like pretty cool game mechanics. How you had to like select a couple of words to try and make an estimation of what had happened at the scene of a murder. And it was really cool, like, piecing things together and figuring out the chronology of how things happened. And that one only took about 30 minutes. It would have honestly taken even shorter, except it took me a little while to figure out how the mechanics worked, and I kind of flailed at it like a dummy for a while. So that would be even shorter than, like, 30 minutes, but it's a good game. Let's hear it for Crescent Bay. But then the winner in this category, stop applauding. The winner in this category of single-sitting games is none other than Old Man's Journey. Let's hear it for Old Man's Journey. Yeah, this one was just like all around really pretty. Loved the like hand-drawn artwork in it. It was like a moving painting. And this one took a little bit over an hour. It was like an hour and 15 minutes. Which is honestly like almost twice as long as I intended to devote to the game. But, you know, I got 45 minutes in and I was like, I think the ending is coming up pretty soon, so yeah, let's just play it through all the way. And I did, and it was a good, satisfying experience. Good, non-verbal storytelling. Just really nice overall, and it actually had some fun game mechanics, like, it was a puzzle game. You can see, yep, there's that mechanic right there, where you kind of drag pieces of the land around in order to make a connected path for the old man to follow. It had these cool vehicle segments, had a lot of walking segments. So yeah, there you go. That's the award for best single-sitting game. Let's hear it for all of these short games that give me a nice full experience for the game Roulette setting. This is going to be a short one. But generally in every game Roulette stream, I try to pick which game or games I would be most likely to play in my own time, now that I've tried them out for the first time. And yeah, this is going to be a short one because there has only been one such game, and it's not even one of the games that I most recommend people buy. That one was Crashlands. That's the only game. It's the only one that wins this award. But, you know, even if it's not one of the games that I think is a must-buy, just the fact that it compelled me enough to keep playing after the stream, I think, is worthy of some merit. Let's hear it for Crashlands. Yeah, it deserves this. Yeah, how nice. But yeah, I mean, it's a pretty simple, like, don't starve clone in space. Clearly, like, meant to be played on mobile devices, too. And I was saying as I was streaming it that it would be a fun podcast game or audiobook game. And that was the context in which I played it. Played this while listening to an audiobook. And I've actually kind of stopped playing it. The main reason being that it's very grindy, just very slow-paced. And the power creep of it is like way too slow. It takes too long to like get good weapons and really feel like you're making progress. Otherwise, I would probably still be playing it, honestly. So let's hear it for Crashlands, and I'll prepare the next category for the awards. Alright, so this one is pretty self-explanatory. Basically, these would be games that I thought were not going to be great, and ended up being surprisingly good. So I've got 3 nominees for this category. This first one is Everything. Let's hear it for Everything. Yeah. So, before I had played Everything, I thought it was going to be this very, like, artsy kind of, overly intellectual indie game where you don't really get to do anything fun and you just kind of explore around this world and are made to ponder the nature of the universe and all that. And it is that. It is very, like, ponderous and intellectual. Had a lot of audio logs where you're, like, listening to some professor lecturing on various topics. But it turned out to be very, like, entertaining to play. Like, its animation style was really funny. You could see, you know, the rhinos just, like, flipping end over end to walk around. And it was fun to go around and form rock societies and rhino societies and all of that kind of stuff. I did not think I was going to have as much fun with this one as I did, so there it is. It's in the most pleasant surprise category. Not the winner, but still, it deserves some recognition. My next nominee in this category is Rad. Let's hear it for Rad. There you go. Yeah. So, I think I didn't have very high hopes for this one because it didn't have, like, super positive Steam reviews. I think it was, like, in the 70 percentiles of positive reviews. But this is a style of game that I really like. It's this, you know, isometric, kind of Diablo-like gameplay. And it was pretty cool. Like, as you beat enemies, your character gets these random mutations, basically, like, more attacks for you to use. And it's cool that those are, like, sort of randomized every time you play. But yeah, just, like, a generally fun game all around there. Let's hear it for Rad. Alright, and then the winner of Most Pleasant Surprise, we've actually already talked about this one. Oh my god, it's a double nominee. This one, the Most Pleasant Surprise, is Crescent Bay. Yeah, there it is. It popped up again. Yeah, so anyway, I thought this one was going to be just a super boring game, just like walk through a house and learn about the people that lived there and their generally boring lives. But it turned out to be like a really fun, creative mechanic where you're actually solving a murder mystery in this dark house at night. It's almost like a horror game, but I mean, it's not really. It is just straight up like a murder mystery game. But I really liked it. It was made, I think, just as kind of a proof of concept, but I would be totally down to play like a full-length game that capitalizes more on this premise. Like maybe has you solving more types of mysteries and unlocking, I don't know, some big conspiracy or something like that. Maybe if it even leaned even farther into horror elements, I would really love that. So that one, yeah. Crescent Bay, the most pleasant surprise of the Game Roulette streams. Let's hear it for those games. They're all winners. They're all winners, ladies and gentlemen. Let's hear it for them. Oh, right, okay. Quiet down now. I need to talk. My favorite art direction. This one, you know, another pretty self-explanatory category. Just the games where I thought that their kind of graphics and design worked the best for what they were. First nominee in this category, runner-up is Halloween Forever. Let's hear it for Halloween Forever. This one was pretty cool. It's, you know, a very straightforward retro-style action platformer with a Halloween theme to it. You have this jack-o'-lantern main character, and all of the enemies are Halloween-y monsters, and all of the environments are like spooky castles and all of that good stuff. But just generally like good pixel art. I mean, it's simple, but it has that very retro look. Like, this looks like it could actually be an NES game. Might have a few too many colors going on simultaneously, but I just really loved the simple look of it. So let's put that one down there as the first nominee of favorite art direction. Yeah. Next up, it's another repeat nominee. This one is Shantae, or Shantae, however you're supposed to say it. I'm not sure. But this one, it's kind of like, you know, if Halloween Forever looks like a really good NES game, this one would be like a really good, well, not Super Nintendo. I mean, it's a little more advanced than a system like that, I think, but what system had like the Metal Slug games on it? There was some system that had like the Metal Slug games that wasn't like Super Nintendo, something more advanced than that. Was it like Neo Geo, maybe? I don't remember. It was some like obscure system that nobody owned. But anyway, yeah, just really generally love the art style of this one. A lot of detail went into the artwork, and it's something I would like to play more of. But yeah, I mean, like, obviously, like, what's not to enjoy here? I mean, I mean, obviously, I mean, really, like, I mean, who wouldn't? I mean, yeah, like, just really, really well-designed characters. Just, I don't know. I couldn't quite put my finger on it. I don't know why. But something about that just kind of stuck with me. I don't know. So let's hear it for that one. Let's hear it for that nomination. That's, yeah. But anyway, my number one award in this category, and you might have already guessed it if you've been paying attention, but it was Mutation again. It's this one again. Let's hear it for that one. Out of all the art styles, this one was my favorite. And it's not just the art style, which itself is really cool. I love these, like, outline-free characters and environments. How, you know, everything is just a single solid color without any, like, visible lines dividing things. I really like that style, and this one does it really well. Like, the environment for the game feels, like, really lived in. It feels, you know, immersive, for lack of a better word. It feels like you could put yourself there, like, you could just feel this humid, swampy air in this place, and, like, see all these, like, fun, weird characters. Really cool game overall, but especially the art style. Like, if it didn't look this good, it wouldn't have stuck with me nearly as much as it did. It's just absolutely gorgeous. I love it. Alright, the next category. This one's gonna have to be a little different. Favorite soundtrack. It wouldn't do for me to just be like, yeah, Shantae, what a really good soundtrack. I'm gonna have to, like, actually play clips of it. I saved some MP3s of these games' soundtracks, so I think I can just do this. Okay, I think that played. I don't actually hear it playing on my end, which is interesting. If you can hear it, then yeah, this is... Wow, what a good soundtrack. Oh, stream can hear it. Hey, yeah. Oh wow, suddenly there's two people here. Well, hello, both Lord of All Cheese and Fallen Shadow. Okay, well I'm glad you guys could hear it. But there you have it. Yeah, let's hear it for that soundtrack. Wasn't that a good soundtrack? So that's my first runner-up in that category. A really good soundtrack was in Anarcute. Let's pull that up. I assume this will work if I just open it in like VLC. Oh well, maybe if I didn't have VLC muted. There we go. Loved the soundtrack in this game. It might not have been, like, one of my favorite games overall. It was decently fun, but man, what a rockin' soundtrack this one had. Just perfect. Okay, so the next one, this is gonna be a little silly, I think. This is mostly just, my personal opinion because I had such a nostalgic reaction to this game, but it was the Even More Incredible Machine. I said plenty of times throughout this stream that this was a game I played all the time as a kid, and so hearing that music again for the first time in years was so nice. Let's hear some of that music right now. Yes, I know it's MIDI music. And honestly, I don't think the MIDI soundtrack sounds exactly the same as what I was hearing in-game, but what are you gonna do? It's still basically the same music, right? Let's hear it for third runners-up. Let's go. Yeah. Oh, nice. Oh, a little loud on the applause there. Turning that down some. Alright, and then my personal favorite... one of the more recent ones I played, I think it was in the 10th stream, Super Hexagon. This one had a fantastic soundtrack, which we will hear in a second. Oh yeah. It was so good. And the hard mode level had even better music than the easy mode level, which made me want to try hard mode even more. And so I think there's only like 3 or 4 music tracks in this game, but man, they're so good. Just these like EDM and chiptune type tracks. Just really good. Just very listenable. Alright, there you go. You got about 30 seconds of that one. Alright, let's hear it for the best soundtracks while I prepare the next category. Okay, we're on to the next category, the favorite story/setting. Because not every game has like a narrative thread that it unravels for you. Some of them just have cool environments or just really cool designs or concepts overall. Okay, The Desolate Hope, that's the first nominee in that category. Yep. Very good, very good. This one especially leans into like the setting aspect of this award more so than story. It might have a good story, but I didn't really play enough of it to know. I just really love like how creative all the environments were, and just the kind of like horrifying robot characters juxtaposed against these like friendly or like beautiful environments, and kind of like exploring the planet at night was really nice, really atmospheric. So that's why that one gets a spot right there. There you go. The Desolate Hope, everybody. Alright, and then my next one, I think this makes this game a triple nominee, but it is, once again, Mutation. I've already talked in other categories about how really love the just execution of the setting for this game. I didn't play enough of it to know if I really love like the narrative, even though it is like a very narrative focused game. It might be good, but I just haven't had like enough experience with it to really know for sure. But the one thing I can say for sure is this was one of the most memorable settings in any game that I played in the roulettes. That kind of like island town, very like swampy or bayou-y, kind of like a shanty town just overrun with rampant nature. And really like weird looking and cool characters too. But anyway, let's give it some applause anyway. Let's hear it for that one. But the winner of this category, it's again not the first time I've mentioned this one, but the winner, my favorite story or setting, Old Man's Journey. I think we can all agree. But the really great thing about this one is that it tells its whole story with no spoken dialogue, no text on screen, no narration. It's all done through visuals. Mostly just as you guide the old man along, you get flashbacks to single images at different points of his life and kind of the series of events that led him to where he is today. And it was kind of cool just how everything in the game progressed and how, like, you go through, sunny hills at one point, and at other times you're going through, like, stormy valleys and actually, like, underwater at one point, which might have been a dream sequence. But that one just overall perfectly, like, satisfying 1 hour experience that gives you a complete story and a fun narrative, and honestly, like, everybody who was in the chat at the time was having a lot of fun with this one and kind of theorizing about the old man, and we were all kind of also cracking jokes, but the genuine story shines through also and makes it a genuinely just great experience. Let's hear it for Old Man's Journey. Let's hear it for all of these nominees. Now this one is a pretty interesting category. Basically, there are lots of these little, pretty unknown indie games that try to set themselves apart with an eye-catching gimmick or a kind of creative gameplay mechanic that nobody has ever used before. And so, I wanted to draw some attention to those. First one in this category, which is once again, I think, now a triple nomination. It's Crescent Bay. So again, not only was this one a surprisingly fun game and a refreshing experience, but it had a cool gimmick to it also. You basically got this, like, notebook full of words of, things that you observed in this room, and you had to piece together those words to try and establish an event that happened. And then after that, you assign a chronological space to each event. And that was a really fun gameplay idea. It's something I hadn't really seen in any other game before, and would have liked to see in a fully fleshed out game, as I said in one of the past categories where I nominated this one. Well, let's hear it once again for Crescent Bay. Alright, now this one I have not talked about yet, but it was Macdos 95. This one was a really cool gimmick. Basically, it was a puzzle game, but the whole premise of it was like you were using an operating system. It was like you were just logged onto a computer and were trying to navigate these windows and use various programs. And basically all the different programs were different mini games. Each one of them was a creative puzzle to solve. And while I didn't finish this one, it was kind of leading into like a larger puzzle. So that one was really cool. Very, gimmicky concept, but it made for a really engaging, fun puzzle game. And that's why that one is my other nominee in this category. Alright, now the winner of my favorite gimmick, it might not be my favorite game overall, but it was Super Time Force Ultra. A very unique kind of thing. I mean, on the surface, it's just a sort of run-of-the-mill, run-and-gun type of game, but it had this really cool concept where if you died or made a mistake or something, you could rewind time, bring in a different character, and then that character would kind of play alongside your most recently played timeline. And it was really cool. It was kind of like you travel back in time. It's hard to explain, really, when I actually try to it. And all of your timelines sort of overlap and merge as you're doing this. It's very cerebral, honestly. It was a little hard to, wrap my head around it at times, but it was kind of cool. Like, once you get into a boss fight or something like that, and you see just, a dozen different characters all attacking this boss at the same time, representing all the different timelines you played it on. It could be really cool when you reach that point. So let's hear it for our winner of Favorite Gimmick. Okay. Now, those are pretty much all of the awards. But I still want to talk about the other games. The ones that didn't necessarily win anything, but are still worth mentioning. And this is another one that, bizarrely, one person in the chat, this time JT, really enjoyed this one and wanted to see more of it, even though I never got past the first area in the game. I actually had kind of a soft spot for this game. It didn't fit into any of my award categories, really, but it was pretty neat. It was this game where you